What's up guys, Bryce here, and we're back at it again for another video. And in this video we have a GT3 race at the Nürburgring, and this is just kind of a little update video because I haven't been posting in a little while, as well as this GT3 race that I did, which I came in P2, which is pretty good. First time driving the Mercedes. The Mercedes is a car where I never really liked it. I never really thought it was a good looking car, so I guess that's kind of why I never drove it. But then the new one came out recently. I think a month ago now, actually, maybe a few weeks ago, by the time of recording this video. So I just bought it, and this is actually my second or third race at the Nürburgring. So qualified in second. I'm kind of on the road to 5K iRating at this point. And you guys can enjoy this race, sit back, relax, and also just kind of where I've been and just the plans for the future. So first and foremost, to be completely honest, I kind of was a little bit burnt out of YouTube in general and a little bit of sim racing. So for the best thing for myself was just take a little bit of a break. I kind of fell off of league racing a little bit in the North American Racing League, and just wanted to take a little break for myself to really figure out where things were going with the channel, because to be fair, I wasn't really getting the growth that I wanted. Obviously things take time and I understand all of that type of stuff, but this is around maybe my 300th video on the channel. Not of sim racing. Of sim racing, this is maybe getting close to the 200 mark, I think, for sim racing in terms of videos. I've made a ton of videos and haven't really gotten the growth that I've wanted. So I'm just going to try to be switching things up. Maybe we should need to sort of make different content that is more trending, that is going to take more work and effort, which I'm willing to do. I know YouTube Shorts are a very popular thing now, and they probably will be getting more popular as they're just shorter videos, and nowadays people don't really have the time span to even sit through a video like this to watch it, which is quite unfortunate because I do enjoy longer videos and just really just paying attention and analyzing a full race instead of just kind of mindlessly watching a short clip of an accident or an overtake. So maybe you just have to think about that in what's trending, but also what I want to do, and not necessarily what's the most popular thing now, which is a really hard thing to do in general. So that's kind of where I've been. Plans for the future, I just plan on getting back into this and really just doing just being more consistent in terms of video posting. I've kind of gone through this phase multiple times on this channel where I'll have a really good flow in posting and then I just won't post. This has happened countless times. I'm used to this feeling and I definitely know what it's like, and I kind of saw it coming as well. I can kind of tell when I don't see myself just posting videos just because I'm not really switching it up and I don't see the growth as quickly, so that kind of demotivates me. But I need to be more patient in that aspect of things. So I do have a lot of planned videos that I have written down on my database of basically my YouTube channel. I have a little database of all the videos I want to post, and I have a bunch of them that I am thoroughly excited to make and publish, just haven't had the chance to do it. I have this one radical SR10 race that got posted on the iRacing YouTube channel of Happy Hour, so I was gonna sort of break that down, which is a video that I want to make. I also got coaching by Daniel Morad about twice actually last year, and I was planning on doing a review of his coaching and just kind of putting him out there in the best way that I can. I'm currently working with some big YouTubers as well in the sim racing world that I want to be able to post and publish to you guys, and also just sort of get into different things where I can help out as many people as I can in terms of sim racing. So I've been thinking a lot about coaching and things like that. I do have it available on my website, so you can obviously check that out down in the description. So far haven't had anyone who was willingly enough to sign up when it was free. I am charging for it now, as it will be a little bit time consuming on my part, but you can check that out in the description below. So hopefully just going to be more consistent in general in posting these videos and just trying to be consistent and pushing out content that is helpful to you guys, because I think that's really important, to be helping people and solving the problems in terms of sim racing. And obviously everyone wants to win in racing, they want to become faster. And I think that's really important when you come to a channel like this, where I kind of have that experience and I'm usually competing in the top 5. So I want to be able to share my knowledge and what I've learned along my 5 years plus of sim racing in general. So that's just the plans for the future. It's just about being consistent and really figuring out kind of the few main things that I want to focus on instead of focusing on a lot of things, just focusing on a few little things. It's also my channel, which is a really good thing because I can choose what I want to post, which is what I like about YouTube. It's a place where you can do whatever you want. I can post whatever I want on this channel. I can talk about whatever I want. Not whatever I want, but, you know, within those restrictions, obviously. But in terms of sim racing, you can pretty much talk about whatever you want and post whatever you want. So that's why I feel comfortable talking about basically what has been going on, because it's my channel. I can do whatever I want with it. So that's going to be the things for the upcoming future. Just looking to grow, honestly, and just get the channel out there more, which is the main goal, obviously, and to just enjoy sim racing along with everything else. So in terms of this race here, qualified P2, this guy in front of us was very quick, Stanley, even though he's about 1,000, almost 1,000 iRating less than I am. I'm 4.3, he's 3.4. He was very quick. In terms of the simulator itself, I've been enjoying iRacing. I feel like I've been looking at ACC a little bit, but I'm sticking with iRacing because I think that is I think iRacing in the future is going to become really big in terms of sim racing. ACC is very good, but unfortunately it's only GT3 cars, and I think iRacing has a lot more potential just because of the online multiplayer system. I think the only reason why ACC has a little bit of an edge over iRacing in terms of the popularity of it and kind of the fame and the I guess you could say the glory of it and just the way it looks is because they are officially licensed by Fanatec GT. And to be fair, the game does look a little bit more cleaner and polished than iRacing does. And working in sort of the graphic design area and being someone who's a perfectionist and who really likes the way things look, I think if iRacing could improve the interface and maybe get a new graphics engine, I think that would really put the game in the right direction. So yeah, I think an overhaul on just the UI and the graphics would really improve it to make things polished and clean. It might not seem like a big deal, but I do think that that would really help it, especially the graphics engine, just to make it look up to date. The game does look a little bit dated. So back to this race, we have about 2 minutes left, a few laps to go, and this is where I had a really good opportunity to pass the guy in P1. I knew that through the chicane I was much quicker than him. I was just able to really get on the throttle a lot faster and better. So on the straight here we had a little bit of a run, but not close enough, and this is the lap where I was able to have an opportunity, but just wasn't smart enough. And you'll see what happens towards the end of the lap, going down to turn 1, a really difficult braking zone. I find that with the Mercedes, it's honestly hard to feel the front end and just the track in general. Another thing to note about iRacing is that iRacing strives to create the most authentic simulator possible. And why that's important is because through the wheel and through the force feedback, iRacing only wants you to feel the things that a real driver would feel through the wheel. So in iRacing, you're only feeling what the tires are feeling. In other games like ACC, for example, it's not like that. You are feeling that, but you're also feeling other things that would be felt through your butt, but they're putting it into the steering wheel, if that makes any sense. So in ACC, through the steering wheel, you're feeling rumble strips, you're feeling things that you would be feeling from your butt, but they're putting it into the steering wheel. And as in iRacing's case, you're only feeling what you would be feeling in a real car. So take that as good or bad. I think it's really hard to say because it's a little bit more difficult to feel the track since you're not going to be feeling it through other areas like you will in a real car, if that makes any sense. But back to the racing, this is where going into the chicane, slowly losing names for these corners. I got to get back on track with this. So breaking down, basically pretty late into this corner, and we just pinned the throttle here, and we're able to get very close to him. He's going to move to the inside. Here, I was just planning on getting a late apex and just making sure that I got a really good run onto the front straight. We have, this is white flag lap coming along here, and my plan was to sort of stay right behind him and then dart to the inside, and he moves to the inside later than I expected. I kind of didn't really know what to do here, so I was on the outside, and we made a little bit of contact, and that didn't really work out the way I wanted to. So we're going to go back and just look at that one more time. So I wanted to go on the inside, but he covered the inside, which I didn't expect him to do because he did it quite late. And a little bit lazy on my part. I should have just passed him on the straight, and instead I was put on the outside, and I wasn't prepared to pass him around the outside, so I kind of just winged it and just tried to break around the outside. But there's not enough experience on this track, honestly. This is like my first ever official race at the Nürburgring. So you can see here, we lift just a slight bit. And again, I was planning to dart to the inside last minute, just kind of sneak in there, but he moves to the inside, and I couldn't really tell if there was enough room, so I kind of was just stuck around the outside. I brake later than him. He does pretty much cut me off there, which is completely legal. You can do that. Just kind of park the car in the middle of the track so I can't turn in, which is really good by him, by his part. And I did look at his sort of biography after, and he's had a lot of sim racing experience and racing experience in real life, so that kind of explains that his iRating was a bit lower than mine, but he definitely was a little bit more smart, and he definitely was quick through a lot of these corners. But through turn 1 and the chicane, I definitely had a bit of an edge on him, so that's why I was able to kind of close the gap up a little bit. So I think after this lap is the white flag lap, actually. And as I was saying before, I think iRacing is a great simulator, and it's definitely on the way to good things. I just think they need to work on a few little things here and there, sort of quality of life improvements that I think will just make it better. There's been a lot of bugs in the past that have also kind of put a little bit of a bad reputation, such as the infamous tire warming strategies with the brake dragging, and also the tire cooling strategies with going on the grass. So that's obviously not a good look. Another thing that is just strange I'm finding right now is the fact that basically in these top split races, let's say 90% of these cars are Mercedes. You can kind of look on the left there on the standings. You have the top basically 15 cars in Mercedes, and you have a few BMWs scattered about, and then you have a Porsche, 2 Ferraris, and a BMW. I think the BOP is a little bit weird. I think the Mercedes feels really good. It does feel like it's on rails compared to a lot of these other cars. I'm really surprised just by the amount of turn-in you have in high speed with the Mercedes. I feel like this is how a GT3 car should feel. And I think the Mercedes is the best GT3 car that they've come out with in terms of the way it feels. I feel like I'm in such control of the car, and it feels really good. You have a lot of turn-in and high speed and mid-speed, and the low speed is exactly how I feel like it should feel. Some of the other cars, they feel good, but the Mercedes does really feel like it's on rails, which is a nice feeling, because I've seen these cars in real life, and that's how they look like they drive. They look like they don't wash out on entry and oversteer and exit. They look like they're very planted and stable, and they're kind of stuck to the ground, which is, you know, what they kind of should be, considering it's a GT3 car. It's not an open wheel car with no ABS or traction control. So the fact that we have a lot of Mercedes, I think just too many. I feel like the grid should be a lot more diverse between the cars that they have, is something they need to fix. It's kind of weird when you're racing against all Mercedes. It would be cool to see other cars that are being driven. I know they'll fix that, but it's a little strange, and just things like that just kind of throw the realism of the game off just a little bit. Obviously in real life, I know Mercedes is doing really well, but you do have a different variety of cars. As in ACC, you see all different kinds of cars being driven, and it's really cool to have that diverse amount of manufacturers. So we're coming across to end this race. I had an opportunity to win this race, but just wasn't smart enough in the moment. Definitely for the next time, just going to be more aware of not doing stuff like that. I think I definitely could have passed if I would have just went on the straight. Coming across the line here, and that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. Just a quick little rant video, and also just the plans for the future. So that's going to be it for me. A very fun race. I'm really loving this car. I think I'm going to be doing GT3s for the rest of the iRacing season, I guess you could call it. And then I'm thinking about going to open wheel. So we'll see what happens. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Be sure to check out my website in the description below. And just other videos I've posted on the channel. I've posted a lot of really cool cinematic videos. I think you guys would enjoy them if you're into racing. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye-bye.